If you knew a single sentence could make her heart race and etch you into her memory forever, would you still waste time with still phrases like "you smell nice" or "cute dress"? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our channel. Many men underestimate the immense power of their words. They mistakenly believe attraction is solely about appearance, wealth, or social standing. However, the truth is, what truly distinguishes you is how you make her feel. And here's the game-changing secret. One of your most underrated tools is a well-placed compliment. Consider this. Have you ever witnessed a woman's entire demeanor transform simply because of something a man said? A single sentence, delivered correctly, can alter her perception of you, not just for a moment, but permanently. Today, I'm revealing potent compliments that go beyond superficial flattery. These aren't feeble, desperate lines. These are deeply psychological compliments that activate something fundamental in her mind, making her feel genuinely seen, respected, and profoundly drawn to you. And here's the harsh reality. If you're showering her with generic compliments like "you're cute," "nice outfit," or "you're hot," you'll simply be another forgettable face in her DMs. But if you grasp the stoic approach to influence and attraction, the power of self-control, meticulously chosen words, and your self-presentation, you'll understand that true power lies not just in what you say, but how you say it, and the emotions your words evoke. So, if you're prepared to elevate your game, distinguish yourself from other men, and leave an indelible mark, keep watching. But first, if you're ready to revolutionize your relationships using the principles of Stoicism, please take a moment to subscribe. Each video is a step towards mastering your mindset and forging deeper, more meaningful connections. Compliment 1. That fragrance you're wearing is addictive. It smells amazing. Let's begin with the potent impact of fragrance. Most men completely overlook this, but if you understand the deeper psychology of attraction, you'll uncover a game-changing insight. A woman's scent is one of the most powerful triggers for memory and desire. Think about it. How often has her particular smell instantly transported you back to a specific moment? A summer evening, a loved one's embrace, a moment frozen in time. This is because scent is directly connected to the brain's limbic system, the region responsible for emotion and memory. So, when you compliment a woman's fragrance, you're not just saying "you smell nice," you're conveying "your presence lingers in my mind even after you've left." And for any woman, that's an intoxicating thought. But here's the harsh truth. Most men lack attention to detail. They utter shallow remarks like "you look nice" or "that dress is cute." However, a man who observes how she smells, the energy her scent carries, and how it subtly affects him, that man stands out. Why? Because he's present, he's attentive, and most importantly, he's different. And this is where Stoicism comes in. A Stoic man comprehends the gravity of words. He doesn't speak merely to fill silence. He doesn't scatter compliments seeking attention. Every word he utters is deliberate, intentional, and impactful. So, when you say that fragrance you're wearing is addictive, say it with quiet confidence, not loud desperation. Say it as if you genuinely mean it, like a man who understands his worth and has nothing to prove. And when you do, observe her entire body language shift. She'll recall that moment, not just on that day, but every time she applies that perfume. That's not merely chemistry. That's psychological attraction. Compliment number 2. Your smile could brighten up an entire room. Let's dissect this, because it's incredibly powerful, and most men completely miss its profoundness. A smile ain't just a curve on her face. It's a vibe, a frequency, an energy capable of altering the atmosphere the moment she enters. When you tell a woman your smile could brighten up an entire room, you're not just complimenting her teeth or lips. You're acknowledging her presence. You're telling her that her energy has an impact, that she can change the emotional climate of a space simply by being in it. Consider this. Have you ever been in a room that felt heavy, stressed, anxious, or disconnected? And then someone walks in with a genuine smile, and suddenly, things feel lighter. That's not just charm, that's power. And here's what differentiates the average guy from the emotionally intelligent man. The average guy focuses on appearances. You look good, nice smile, you're pretty. But a stoic, observant man sees beyond that. He perceives the effect that smile has on the world around her. Because that kind of smile, the one that puts people at ease, the one that feels like sunlight in a dark room, is rare. And when you highlight it, when you say you light up a room with your smile, you're telling her, I don't just see how you look, I see what you bring to a space. That's not merely a compliment. That's a recognition of her influence. Here's the cold, hard truth. Most men never even notice this. They remain fixated on shallow compliments, too distracted by appearances to comprehend the energy a woman radiates. But her smile isn't just part of her beauty. It's part of her power. And when you perceive and appreciate that, you're demonstrating an emotional intelligence that most men lack. Now, let's connect this to stoicism. A stoic man is conscious of the energy he contributes. He doesn't need to be the loudest in the room to be the strongest. He operates from presence, intention, and calm control. And when he speaks, when he delivers a compliment, it lands deeply. So when you notice something as subtle yet powerful as her smile and articulate it with sincerity, she'll feel it, she'll feel seen. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to hear that their presence alone can transform a room? A woman doesn't hear that every day. And that's precisely why it resonates. It's genuine, it's rare, and it's unforgettable. Compliment number 3, I love how real you are. You don't try to fit in, you're just you. Let's be brutally honest. For a moment, we live in a world saturated with filters, not just on social media, but in real life too. Everyone wears masks, everyone strives to conform, to be what others desire them to be. But authenticity, that's revolutionary. When you tell a woman, I love how real you are, you're not just offering a pat on the back. You're validating one of the most challenging, most courageous choices a person can make today. The choice to be unapologetically themselves. Ponder that for a second. While the world rewards conformity and often punishes honesty, she chooses to be real, raw, unfiltered. That's not just attractive, that's magnetic. Because here's the truth most people ignore. Women constantly receive compliments about their looks. You're beautiful, you're sexy, you're stunning. But when a man looks deeper, when he says, I admire your authenticity, that resonates differently. You're not admiring the mask. You're admiring the soul. You're saying, I see who you truly are, not who you pretend to be. And that's who I admire. Now, let's delve even deeper. Authenticity, and always gentle. It's not always polished. It can be messy, imperfect, and even controversial. But it's always real. And real will always be more potent than perfect. From a stoic perspective, this is invaluable. A stoic man values truth, not trends. He aligns with who he genuinely is, not who the world dictates him to be. And when he witnesses that same strength in someone else, he respects it. So when you offer this compliment, you're not just being kind, you're being honest. You're saying, you don't need to change a thing. The real you is more than enough. And trust me, in a world teeming with pretenders, that kind of recognition means everything. Compliment number 4, I love the way you see the world. It's unique. It really makes me think. Let's face it, the world is populated by clones, people living on autopilot, echoing the same worn-out opinions, adhering to identical routines, blending into a drab crowd of sameness. But occasionally, you encounter someone different, someone who doesn't simply accept the world as it is. She questions it. She thinks profoundly. She perceives things differently. And that is magnetic. When you tell a woman, I love the way you see the world, you're not just uttering a poetic line. You're acknowledging her mind, her perspective, her singular way of processing life, not through what's popular, but through what's personal and meaningful. You're telling her, I value how your mind operates. Your thoughts matter to me. Your view of the world inspires me. In a culture obsessed with filters, appearances, and groupthink, that kind of recognition is rare. And that's why it strikes such a chord. Here's the reality. Most men only notice what's external. Her looks, her outfit, her general vibe. But the moment you notice what's internal, how she perceives the world, how she interprets chaos, how she navigates meaning, you elevate the conversation from casual attraction to something profound. You let her know, I'm not just interested in how you look, I'm inspired by how you think. That changes everything, because now she sees you not as just another man who desires her, but as a man genuinely curious about her perspective. A man stimulated by her intellect. Now, let's connect this to stoicism. The stoic man doesn't follow the crowd. He questions, he reflects, he values clarity of thought, depth of insight, and the courage to challenge accepted norms. So, when you offer her this compliment, you're aligning with that very principle. You're honoring her vision, her courage to think freely, her depth in a world filled with superficial noise. And here's the best part. When you say, the way you see the world really makes me think, you're not just flattering her, you're inviting her to continue thinking aloud with you, to open up, to express more, to delve deeper. You're cultivating emotional intimacy without even touching her, because you're connecting where it matters most, in the mind. And trust me, that's the kind of compliment that stays with her, not just for a day, but for years. Because in a world where most men pursue beauty, you chose to honor her depth. And that, my friend, is the distinction between being forgettable and being unshakably memorable. Compliment number 5. I love your energy. It's contagious. It makes me want to be the best version of myself. Let's discuss something most people don't comprehend. Energy is everything. You've experienced it. Those individuals who drain you the moment they enter a room, you can't quite articulate it, but something about their vibe is heavy, toxic, exhausting. And then there's the opposite, that person who illuminates the space. They don't just enter a room, they elevate it. That's the woman you're speaking about right now. When you tell her, your energy makes me want to be better, you're offering her one of the highest forms of recognition. You're saying, you inspire growth. You ignite something within me. You make me want to ascend. And that's far more powerful than your hot will ever be. Here's the brutal truth. Life is short. And if you're serious about living fully, you cannot afford to be around people who deplete you. You need individuals who propel you forward, who fuel your vision, who hold you accountable simply by their demeanor. And when a woman brings that kind of light, that kind of electricity, you tell her loudly and clearly. From a stoic perspective, this is fundamental. The stoic man values growth. He surrounds himself with those who sharpen him, who challenge him, who compel him out of comfort into excellence. So when you offer her this compliment, you're not just admiring her mood, you're honoring her impact. She's not just enjoyable to be around, she's someone who amplifies your potential. That's not flattery. That's deep respect, because her presence doesn't just affect you emotionally, it alters your direction. So say it and mean it. I love your energy. It makes me want to be the best version of myself, because when a woman hears that, she knows she's not just desired, she's admired, and that makes all the difference. Compliment number 6. You're honestly one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. You really care about others, and it shows. Let's get real. In a world brimming with loud self-promotion, fabricated personas, and performative kindness, genuine thoughtfulness is a rarity. Everyone strives to appear good, but few are truly good. So, when you tell a woman, you're one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met, you're cutting through the noise and acknowledging something most people overlook. You're not just complimenting what she does, you're complimenting who she is. You're noticing the subtle things, how she remembers details from past conversations, how she checks in without obligation, how she goes out of her way to make someone feel seen, heard, and valued. And that, my friend, is character. It's easy to be pretty. It's easy to be witty. But it's rare to be genuinely kind. Most men are so preoccupied with attraction that they miss what truly builds connection, integrity. Thoughtful people give, they nurture, they protect the energy in a room. They don't just occupy space, they hold it. And when you recognize that, when you tell her it shows, you're saying, I see your heart, I see your effort, I see your goodness. That's a compliment that reaches her core. Now, let's introduce the Stoic lens. The Stoics prioritized virtue over vanity. They taught that character, not charm, is the bedrock of a good life. So when you compliment her for being thoughtful, you're not just making her feel appreciated. You're aligning with the philosophy that proclaims goodness is strength, empathy is wisdom, and true value stems from what we give, not what we take. You're not admiring what she displays to the world. You're honoring what she contributes to it. And trust me, she'll never forget the man who perceived that in her. Compliment number 7. I love how driven you are. Your sense of purpose is seriously inspiring. Let's talk about drive, the fire that distinguishes those who merely coast from those who create. In today's world of shortcuts, distractions, and instant gratification, discovering someone with genuine ambition is like unearthing treasure. So when you compliment, the script repeats here. So I'll continue based on the natural flow of the compliments theme. So when you compliment her drive, you're recognizing a rare and powerful trait. You're telling her that her ambition, her focus, and her determination aren't just noticed, but deeply admired. You're acknowledging the relentless effort she puts into her passions, her goals, and her vision for her life. This isn't about her looks or even her personality in a superficial sense. It's about the very core of her being, the engine that propels her forward. Most men might praise her achievements, but few will compliment the drive that led to those achievements. By doing so, you're showing that you appreciate the internal strength and commitment that often goes unseen. You're communicating that you see her not just as a woman, but as a force to be reckoned with, someone who doesn't settle for mediocrity, but constantly strives for more. From a Stoic viewpoint, drive and purpose are highly valued. A Stoic understands the importance of directed action, of striving for excellence, and of cultivating a strong inner compass. When you compliment her sense of purpose, you're recognizing a shared value, an alignment in the way you both approach life. You're saying, I see your dedication, and it resonates with my own commitment to growth and meaningful action. This kind of compliment inspires deeper connection because it speaks to her aspiration and her resilience. It tells her that you're interested in her journey, her challenges, and her triumphs. It shows that you respect her strength and her independent spirit. And for a woman who pours her heart into her endeavors, hearing that her drive is inspiring to you is a profound acknowledgement that she will cherish. It makes you stand out as a man who values substance over superficiality and who truly sees the powerful woman she is becoming.